What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to part 3 on this 2007 Ford manual transmission and clutch. So right here we have a brand new pressure plate here. We have a new clutch. We got the flywheel all turned. That was nice. And then we have a new slave cylinder here. And there is 3 bolts, 8mm bolts that we need to take off to replace that. Basically there's just 3. And it should just pull out just like that. Alright, let's get your new one in here. It goes like this out. Set it all the way in and put your bolts on. So after this, guys, we're gonna install the flywheel onto the motor and then bolt up the pressure plate with the clutch. So bolting on the flywheel here, it has these bolts right here. You can see, okay. So I'm using a 12 point, fits right in there perfect. So I'm gonna get that on there. And then make sure you get it aligned. That. Get your bolts. Start screwing them in. And then tighten your bolts. I usually go in a cross pattern so it sets in nice and flush. And then one more. Go. So on the clutch it will say flywheel side, so that goes inside like that, and then the pressure plate goes right there. Let me get it real quick. Alright, now for the pressure plate bolts, it's 6 10mm bolts, and like I said, flywheel side goes in. Then the flywheel, it has some alignment pins as well, and don't forget to put the alignment tool in here once you put the pressure plate on there, so it's nice and centered. So just like that. Get your alignment tool, push it all the way inside. And then you can remove it, push it back inside, make sure it's nice and centered in there, okay? Because that's where the transmission is going to go. That's the input shaft that's going to turn the motor, the crank. So now you get your bolts. Like I said, these alignment pins are set improperly, just screw on by hand first so you don't cross thread the bolts. Top one here. And your remainder of the bolts. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. Get your impact here. While putting pressure on there with the center tool, start tying them. Start patting again. Stuck on there, but it's coming loose. There we go. So after that, guys, you get your transmission. We're gonna try to tilt it up like this, put it in at an angle, and then once it's set in here with the input shaft in there, we're gonna try to turn it and set it in, and then put your mounting bolts. So right now, guys, we are just bolting everything back up and getting the starter bolts on. I got the top one on. This one I'm gonna tighten right now. We got the transmission in, and just gotta get everything sorted out. I managed to pinch a water line, so I might need to take off the intake because it runs from a water block over here to the engine on the other side through the intake, but I'm gonna have to do that later once I get done with the transmission and all the parts that I need to put back on. So at this point I'm just gonna drain the transmission, and I'm using a hex head is a 5/16. The drain plug is right here, so where the axle goes, it's right there, and then the fuel plug is up front right here. So I'm gonna take this off here and drain the transmission. So I'm just gonna do this for now, and then start getting those axles in. So I believe we're almost ready for that as well. As you saw previous clip, we installed the top transmission mount, this the back transmission mount here. I got the linkages, the linkage bracket on, the linkage is on. I got the clutch line installed, the top bracket on the back of the transmission, and I got the starter in. So I do have to replace that water line. That I might need to take that intake off to get to it, because there's no way of taking that line off. But just draining this for now. I am gonna fill it. It takes 2 quarts of actual Mercon. This is what it calls for, so that's what I'm gonna put in. And yeah. So I got the axles put on. We got the spindles and tie rod ends all bolted up before I put the oil in, because I didn't want oil spilling from the axle housings there. And now this is what I'm gonna use. I bought this at O'Reilly's. It's a hand pump, and like I said, the filler hose is just right up there. So it takes 2 quarts. We're gonna do that right now. Now it's time to bleed the clutch slave cylinder right there. It's a 11 millimeter, and we did remove the throttle body to get to that water hose that I pinched when I was putting that transmission in. But I got all that fixed up and put some coolant. But now, right now, I'm gonna have an assistant pump the clutch, and while I'm opening here, so we could bleed the slave cylinder. And the slave cylinder is shared with the brake reservoir, so we need to top it off right here because it's like way down here. But I'm gonna get that procedure done. Guys, well, this concludes this job here. I'm gonna start it up and we already bled the clutch. So I'm gonna start it up and see if it's gonna move now. Alright, clutch in. There we go. Back, little grindy there. First gear, reverse. So we're doing good. Just need to pump the clutch a little bit. So that concludes this video. Thank you all for the support that you give me and the subscriptions that I have gotten. I've gotten over 500 now, so thank you guys. Stay tuned for the next one, and let's keep going. Thank you. Bye.